Are we up? Let's see, audio. Looks okay, video. Hey, I think we're up and running. Nobody's here, unusual. Paper is out. Must be something broken. I don't see any comments here at all. Are we up? I guess so. Well, I'm here anyway. Very unusual, quiet start. Okay. Today's plan. We might be doing some carving later on, but first I've got something else to do. I was going to say something else more important. I mean something else that's more of a priority on the schedule. Okay, a bit of tracing today. I know what we're doing is we're starting to get the next image ready for our party room. The microwave is going very, very well. People are loving it. It's fabulous. Everybody's enjoying it. But the blocks are, they're starting already to show some wear. We've got to make sure we have more images ready. And what we want to try and do is change up things a little bit. In the party room, we had that Peach Boy image. We had it running for like 3 years, and every day we used it, and that became the standard party room picture. But the problem, when you use something every day all the time, the blocks wear out really quickly. So we've got the microwave running, but what I want to do now is get another 1 or 2 or 3 interesting images into the rotation for the party room. So we're not using the same block set every time. I'm not going to go back to the Peach Boy. We're moving ahead, and as you can see, one thing we're going to put into the party room system is the carp, the Hokusai carp that we've got. And it won't look like this. It will have other things in the background, but for one of the blocks, the key block, we have to start carving with this. So, to do this, rather than trace the whole thing in the iPad, as I said I might do, I think it was easier just to do some Photoshop level work here, pull out some of the lighter and darker places, and then put it down on Gampi paper. And this is our patented whatever Gampi paper here, ready for pasting down and carving. If I pull up one corner, you can see this is our 2-layer paper. So once we've finished preparing this, this will be pasted on the wood to carve. But some of the places here are still a bit too difficult for the carver to see. Some lines are clear and some are too faint. So what I've got to do is I'm just going to touch up a bunch of the fainter places with a pen here, so that once it's pasted down on the wood ready to carve, it'll be easier for the carver to see. If I were carving this myself, it's okay. I would just go ahead like this, because I could just fix it with a knife as we go. But this isn't going to be carved by me. This is going to Kawasaki-san, our young carver who lives in Kobe. And she needs instructions. She doesn't know what to do if we don't tell her. And the way we tell her is to prepare her a good, clean tracing. So that's what I'm going to do this morning. I've got to go over this and darken up the parts that are too gray. This is not horribly interesting work, sorry, but it does have to be done. Okay, the chat's come alive here. People are here. Paper's out. Yes, thank you. There's 3 packs out today. Kawai-san is doing a batch of Patreon prints, 120 or so of them. Sugu-san is also doing up her second batch of Patreon prints, 150 or so. I don't know how many she's got in there. And who else? Dei-chan. She's doing the Hokusai Magician, the one where he shakes the water in his hand. We're out of those, and she's doing another batch. Okay, so what else is going to be happening today? Cameron will be coming by about 8:40, and we've got a show and tell. We've got a little bit of different show and tell, a very, very, very heavy show and tell this morning. It's over there. I couldn't even pick it up myself, actually, almost. It's very heavy over there. So we'll see that at around 9 o'clock. In the meantime, I had better get to work here. this perhaps. Maybe I can see what's going on a bit better. We've got another beautiful day in the Saxon. It's fabulous out there today. Hot and sunny. The last few days have been really, really cool. We got so lucky with that festival this year. Festival on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It was a little bit cloudy, not so hot, but no rain. So perfect for the guys carrying the shrines. And the day after the festival, it poured like crazy, which would have destroyed the festival completely. And now these last couple of days, it's really, really hot, which would have been not so good for those guys. So we got just perfectly lucky this year. The pen here is picking up fibers. I'm doing this tracing on Gumby paper, which is washi, and the sharpness of the pen, it tends to pick up fibers from the paper. So every few seconds I get a blob. It might have made more sense to do this on the iPad. You can have an undo button, but whatever. Let's just get this done quickly. It's not art, it's something for the party room. It's okay. See, this place like this is just too she won't be able to see it. Once it's pasted down the wood, those lines would be invisible. So just touching them up this much means she'll be able to see it once it's on the wood. Much happening over here, I don't know. Yes, this is a new party plant. Yes, yes, yes. We've got a couple more. I'll be doing another one next week. We've got 2 new prints coming into our party catalog. The microwave is going very, very well, but if we don't want the blocks to wear out, we've got to get some more party prints up and running. The parties today, we are totally sold out. Actually, we're oversold today. We've overbooked. The first group this morning, instead of the normal 4, there's 6 coming. It's some kind of art group from Australia. They want to do it together. So today's going to be 6 in the first party, then 4, then 4, then 5 in the last one. It's going to be a very difficult day today for us. Yesterday there was a TV group here, a TV group company from Singapore. And they filmed a print party. They filmed a shop and they introduced the shop and the print party. And they didn't have much time. They were doing a bunch of other stuff and they had just like 15 or 20 minutes to do the print party. And they sent one of their announcers or talent, whatever you call them, I don't know. And this is always a bit nervous because you get somebody in with no time to practice, no time to do it twice, no time to do retakes. And if that person makes a mess of it, it just, there you are. The people who see the program will think, my God, what an awful kind of thing that is. But this girl was good. She was sharp. She understood exactly what to do straight away. She held the paper properly. And she did a really, really nice print. Just bang, 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 all in a few minutes. As we were wrapping up the thing, I said, look, if you ever get tired of this TV work with these people, come over here, we got a job for you, you know. And the other unusual thing about it was the program, we did it in English because it's going to be broadcast in Singapore, so Japanese made no sense. So. You're talking about the octopus, are you? Okay, whatever, whatever. Yeah, this is just pen, just a normal ballpoint pen. This is not a spectacular special print. I have no, brush ability here. All we're doing here is tightening up some lines, darkening them a little bit, making a lot of these thin lines, making them thicker. Because this is not going to be a delicate art print. This is going to go in the party room. And if the lines are too thin, we're in real trouble. Because people, when they're doing it in the party room, the registration sometimes is a bit off. And if the lines between color zones are too thin, then the registration shows really badly. So we thicken up a bunch of these lines here. It's also so the carver can see them more clearly. This copy here is a bit faint in many places. If I just pasted this down on the block as it is, she wouldn't be able to see these lines. Especially here in the middle here. I'm going to have to darken this place here, for example. So we're getting this ready for the carver, Kawasaki-san. She's just about finished Hanami Cats. Maybe today or tomorrow or a couple more days, she'll be finished the block set for Hanami Cats. And she needs more work, so that's what this is for. And the cat situation is a bit frustrating, you know, because now we have blocks in this building for sushi cats, for ramen cats, and Hanami Cats, but we don't have printers time. So we got these block sets building up, and we'd love to get the prints out into the market, but we don't have enough printing staff to do all these jobs. And we're in the middle of the subscription series, but this week the printers have all been sidelined because they've got to do the Patreon prints. We've got to get those up and running and out of here. It was an obligation. talking about me, I didn't offer a job to Miss KP when she was here. She knows why it's a question of being able to live in Japan. But taking the conversation a bit farther, this little gem, I think we showed when the lady was here. This is one of her earlier versions, earlier proofs or tests of this print. So the lady will not be working here at Mocha Hong Kong, but her work will be working here at Mocha Hong Kong if all goes well. The prints will be here. We have a guest corner. We have a guest corner, and I think that print should be appearing in the guest corner in the not too distant future. Yes, yes, yes. Is it shiny, reflecting? Look at it. It's so cool. The depth, the transparency, it is really, really, really cool. This is one of her early copies of it. She left with me as a sample here. And I believe as we speak at the moment, newer versions of this are coming up. Karen? When will it be here? Tomorrow? The day after? Coming up soon? I mentioned this before, it's been sitting beside me. It's been sitting on the desk here. Sometimes there's paper on top of it and sometimes there's not. And on the days when it's sitting up here with nothing else on top, if we had had copies for sale, people ask for it. Can I get this? Is it for sale? Where is it? People want this. People want this. It is really, really nice and interesting. The pressure, the pressure. Good cooking takes time. It's okay. Good cooking takes time.
What was that all?
Asking about the bottom left, you mean? This one. That's the camera's pointing outside, actually. I think the girl got something stuck in her bicycle. I wasn't quite sure. Have we got an ETA for the garbage men? What time do they usually arrive? 8:35, somewhere around there? Just before Cameron, right? Okay, what's next now? Get these scales. I guess she won't be able to see these. They're too gray, so. I have to thicken this up too. This is too thin. There's going to be a color difference between these two songs, and it's too thin for a party room print. This one too, I guess, to match. Questions? What's happening here? How many different types of paper have you tried before landing on the paper we use currently? I know that's not a question for me. I know the paper we're using currently is the same kind of paper, Echizen Hosho, that has been used for Japanese printmaking for a long time, hundreds of years. It's not something that I hunted up for, it's not something I chose. This is the standard paper for the type of prints we do. It's changed over the years, so recently we've been trying to look for alternatives. But in general, because we have a very required look and feel for our prints that we want, that look and feel is provided by that type of paper. So for me to try and look for a different kind of paper is not really something we spend a lot of time doing here. We are happy with the look and feel of this particular kind of traditional paper, Echizen Hosho paper, and all we want really is to maintain that look and feel. Whatever experimentation we do is in the field of design, drawing new pictures or whatever, or trying to hold it together. But we're not going to be experimental in the type of paper we want, because there's a very specific feel that we want. Next, about the wooden boards for carving. We don't buy them anymore. There's no more suppliers who make these. The last supplier of the wood blocks died in 1999, Shimano-san. Since that time, myself and other people have been making our own boards, our own planks. There's no suppliers anymore. We're making our own. That's Aoyama-san's coming again today. He's going to spend the day upstairs selecting wood, cutting it to size, laminating it, bonding it, planing it. There's some information on our blog. I think Cameron's been blogging about that a little bit over on our Mokahonkan blog. I think also on Instagram. He's been showing pictures of the way we are putting the wood together for our wood blocks. There's no more source of supply. We can't just pick up the phone and order like I used to do back in the old days. Back in the old days, meaning back in the 20th century. There were block suppliers. Pick up the phone, order what you want. That's all gone. What's time? 8:36. What's going to happen first, the garbage or Cameron? Who's coming first? Excitement, place your bets. I haven't heard the garbage trucks at all. You can hear the beeper, the back button, the back up button. There is a sound up there. Can you hear it? It happens at this time every day. I found it yesterday for the first time when we were not doing a stream. I was standing outside. It happens around 8:30, 8:35. It's the hotel across the street. The lady has opened the lobby doors and she's vacuuming the lobby of the hotel. And she gets to the front door in a minute. It'll be a bit louder. You know what that sound is. Here they come. Faster, guys, faster. You gotta do it faster. Running down the street. One. The bags pop, of course. Those guys must be in good shape, you know. Hopefully they must be in good shape. For the big excitement of our day. What's been happening here? Oh, footsteps on the stairs. Sugi-san, kana? Going upstairs. Did you see her at the door? I don't know. There'll be 3 printers upstairs today. Sugi-san, Kawai-san, and Eichan. twice on. So, what have we got here? Yeah, the embossing, I know, in the background. I know it's not embossing actually, it's a printed pattern. And that wasn't original. The Hokusai, as far as we know, the Hokusai design that's come back down to us as a fan print, it had just water. It had water and leaves. And I mixed it together. I took the Sumi Nagashi pattern, the ink in the water pattern. I stole that from a Harunobu print and pasted it together with the one I did for this. Actually, let me see if I can find a copy here. Hang on a sec. Let me try and pop up the plan for this and what we're going to be doing. Hang on one moment here. Add an image. See if we can find this. Hang on a second. Print party images. Oh, it won't allow PSD files. So God. Yeah, we're out of luck. I can't do it. Sorry then. The broadcast software won't show the picture. Later on, we'll be doing more work on this print, so I'll show you later. The idea of the print party room print is going to be a 5-block print. It's going to be the 5 blocks for the print in the print party. There will be a base tone first for the fish. That's the first thing they will print. They won't see the key lines, they won't see the outline, they don't have any idea what they're going to be doing. So there will be a pale yellow dun color base tone for the fish is what they print first. Then the second block for the print will be without fins, without head, without tail. It'll be the curved pattern, not the pattern I'm writing here, but the curved pattern inside each scale. So the second block will put scales onto the fish, but again, without the black lines that you see here. That'll be block number 2. Block number 3 that they print will be using a third block, and it will be just the middle body part of the fish with no scales, and they'll be doing a curved gradation on it, just in the form that you see here with my finger sweeping. And we think we'll be able to do this and train them to do a gradation. And that'll be tea break, coffee break in the party. So they won't have the key lines you'll see here, and they won't have any of the background water. Then after they come back from their coffee break in the print party, the 4th block they print will be the block with the background wavy pattern in the water. The Sumi Nagashi pattern, the blue, it'll be blue and it'll have water waves. Then the 5th block that they put in will have the outline around the outside, and it will be the black block, the one that I'm tracing now, that will put all the lines onto the thing to turn it into a real print. What I think it'll be really, really interesting for them to do. It's a total mashup. Hokusai's Carp original. I stole the Sumi Nagashi from a Harunobu print, cut it all apart, put it back together. It's okay, this stuff's all public domain, you know. Hokusai doesn't care. He's been dead for, you tell me, 150 years? I don't know. So I think it'll make for an excellent experience in the party room. A couple of things. The first, colors are basic, nothing special. Give them a chance to get trained, how to hold the tools, how to hold the paper. The third impression will be a gradation. It'll be tough for them, but that's okay. We've learned through our experience with the microwave that people will be able to do gradations as long as we give them some good guidance. Then when they come back after their coffee break, the next two impressions are spectacular. Putting in the Sumi Nagashi will really make it, oh my God, look what I'm doing. And then when the key block goes in to finish the whole thing off, it's just spectacular. So everybody will have, I think, an excellent experience with this. We've got so many people now in the party room who are repeaters. They've done the Momotaro, they've done the cherry blossoms, they've done the great wave, whatever, the microwave. We're getting so many repeaters. Well, we've learned the gradations, of course. We were really worried about this when I was preparing the microwave. What was it, 6 months ago or something? Last autumn? I can't remember when we were starting this. I really didn't know if we'd be able to coach people through it. It's turned out really well. Most people get the 2 gradations on the microwave really nicely done. Most people, not everybody, but what can you do? Cameron's now officially late, right? I wonder if he's off today. I didn't see an email. Hope he's coming because I need help with the Chantel. It's heavy stuff. No email. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Thought you'd given up. Train crash. Who knows?
50 days. That's not too bad, is it?
Actually, people haven't been complaining. Where's Cameron? Where's Cameron? No, people forgot about you.
Oh, okay. They already forgot about me. It's been 2 days.
We're talking about garbage trucks and.
It's good.
Nice day out there again. Beautiful.
Beautiful, beautiful day.
Did you bike to the station?
Yes, every day, even in the rain. Some days it's more pleasant.
Well, that's what that is. That's it should be put back away. The other day, when I thought I needed one desperately, I tried to look for an old one that I could cut and paste pieces together.
Right. That
So we
makes sense.
decided not to go with that, so that can just go back in. Your
Okay, back
files.
upstairs. Okay.
Yeah, back in.
I will.
We do have a show and tell today. It's heavy, so I'll need some help. But I got to finish this first, absolutely. So.
Are you tracing now? Is that what?
Yeah, this is Kawasaki-san is going to need this like tomorrow or the day after, or maybe today or something.
Wow.
She's got to get going. Oh, I move the camera. What's the plan?
Other things. Oh, that's a weird shape. Oh, you cropped it so that it was only
I
showing
didn't
up.
crop it. I just slid it. I just slid it off. Yeah. I do that every morning. And usually I move it out at the point where you get up to do that. That's when one camera goes off. This camera, I pull it out so the part that was hidden is not visible. Yeah, up we go. They're betting on the Chantal, and I said it was going to be heavy.
My money's still on a piece of cherry tree.
Well, I said it was heavy, so yeah. We'll see.
We'll see. Even Dave doesn't know. Bags of money.
Bags of gold. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Next month's payroll.
Yeah. Paying everyone in gold coins, doubloons. It seems like Dave has changed his mind on whether print party people are going to be able to execute a gradation.
I saw the comment, I know, whatever, maybe a year ago when we were planning the microwave, we were really, can they do this? Are they going to be able to do this? That was a year ago. We cut the blocks in the microwave, and I still hesitate. I think I waited like 1 month or 2 months. We practiced and fooled around, and they're not going to be able to do this.
Yeah.
But I worked out a way to get them to do it, put it into service, and it's working wonderfully. Kawasaki, I can't see this. If I just give it to her to paste it down, there's too much gray blur here. And also, many lines are too thin. I've got to thicken them up because in a party room, the registration is a little bit looser. So the lines on the outside have to be thicker. So I'm doing two things here. I'm making it so that she can see it, and I'm thickening up some of the lines. Almost finished. Let me finish this tail, and I think I'm pretty much done.
Very nice. They asked, was this carp initially printed out from a computer? Yes, this copy was.
Well, it's not.
I don't know how far back do we call originally.
No. So. What I'm working from here is the Adachi reproduction of the Hokusai fan print. So I just scanned in the Adachi print.
So you scanned it and then printed it.
Yeah, this morning. So I played with it in Photoshop, the levels, just to try and remove as much of the junk as I could. But you can't get everything out in Photoshop. If you pull the lightness down so that it's sort of trace here, then these lines disappear and stuff like that. It's a bit too light, just so. Oh, remind me, what's happening on the Gampi paper thing? Did we get in contact with
Yes,
these
we got
people?
in contact with them. We're waiting for a response. So we've reached out through their contact form, but Aoyama-san, if we don't hear back from them already, I haven't checked my email,
Give them a call.
then we'll give them a call today when Aoyama-san's in the shop. So.
And what we're talking about here is the Gampi paper that we've been using for years to do this job, people have always been asking us, where can you get it, where can you get it, where can you get it? We've never actually known who's made it.
Yeah.
We've never actually been able to source the actual place that does the paper rocket. So we've been buying it through a wholesaler or, you know, even retail sheets sometimes we pay for it.
Yeah.
We got a bit of a hint a while ago. One of the sheets that came to me through the wholesale retail source had a sticker on it
Yeah.
that identified the workshop who made it. That's all the hint we
That
need.
was a
So we
mistake.
hunted them up and bang, we found the workshop that makes the Gumpy that we're using. And we assume that they're going to be able to sell to us. They
Yeah.
may first reject, no, we don't sell retail, we do wholesale, and we'll say how many thousand sheets counts as wholesale.
Yeah.
The point being, we may ourselves, this is still a may, it's not a secret, but we're still a may. If we can get this workshop to sell directly to us at a wholesale price, this Gumpy paper, we're going to use it for ourselves. And I know a few people out of the world there who would really like a source of Gumpy paper.
Yeah.
So we're thinking about, we will do this, as long as they will sell to us, and if it is the same kind of paper we've been using, we will soon be, hopefully, selling Gumpy paper.
Yeah. Hoping people have easier access to it.
Yeah, there's a bit of a problem. The stuff comes in sheets like usually, I don't know the
Big.
numbers, I'm gesturing, well, it's not that big, but it's really, really thin. So to send a whole sheet overseas is going to rip one of three things. We fold it,
Yeah.
put it in an envelope and send it. We get a humongous strong cardboard tube or whatever, put it inside, and that's going to be heavy and expensive to ship. Or we cut this thing in smaller sheets that suit the needs of people overseas, A4, B4, whatever,
Yeah.
and those go in a package like we send our normal prints. So we'll see. I don't think people out there are going to have a requirement for this stuff in giant sheets. So I suspect it'll be we'll be slicing it up into small pieces. We'll see.
Vivid KP says, haha, this is the new website you bought. Gumpy.com. Nope.
Well, no, I didn't. No.
Good guess.
Now that we think about it.
Yeah.
But see, the company who's making it.
Yeah.
You saw their website.
They have a great
They have oh my
website.
God, they must have been on the net like day one or something.
Yeah.
Their website like that. So
Yeah. Really, really good.
okay, I think I'm ready to send this over. I'm going to make sure I get the registration marks in the right place. That's not what they're in the right place. And we're going to send this over to Kawasaki-san.
All right.
And the wood is ready for it. Aoyama-san already prepared the wood for me. It's ready and waiting. I tried just now to show an image of this thing with the Sumi Nagashi in the background, but I've only got a Photoshop file, and this broadcast software won't read a Photoshop file.
Oh, yeah, you'd have to
It wants a
export it,
JPEG or
huh?
something. So I'll do that tomorrow, the day after, whatever. Okay. Wait, what time is it? Around 9 o'clock or so?
901.
I know. Okay, I don't have a half an hour of show and tell. We'll show and tell for 5 or 10 minutes, and then I'll get back to my carving.
Okay.
Now to do the show and tell here, like I said, this is big, heavy stuff. So
Do
I
we
think
bring it here or turn the cameras that way?
what I'd like you to do is, if you get off that stool, if you
Yes.
bring that box over there onto this stool so that I can reach it, then I can pull them out one by one, and you can do the camera job if
The
we need the
balloons
camera
one
job.
by one.
Yeah.
Ah, these.
Aha, you know what this is.
I do. I remember when it arrived. Whoa, it's so heavy.
So heavy.
All right, so you're going to look at
Oh,
them
I can reach
here.
them now from here,
Okay.
and I'll put them on the desk one by one. And if you
Okay.
do your camera.
This corner one a little bit smaller.
Oh, okay.
So we have a little more.
Yep.
room to
And maybe if I turn this so I can see the chat, maybe if there is chat, who knows what it is. Turn this back without destroying things. A view of my bench. Okay, let's have a look. What do we got here? Japanese newspaper. Advertising. That was funny. Did you see what happened a couple of weeks ago? We were opening a flea market, something or whatever, and it was wrapped in newspaper. No, it was a package of prints from Kanai-san,
Okay.
who had finished printing it. And just as I was opening it, there was a big thing that said here, Windows 7. It was an ad for something. I'll explain in a minute. But it said Windows 7. So I opened this paper and we looked at her prints and it just sat there and I threw it away. And in the chat comments later, somebody said, oh my God, are they still using like Windows 7 in
Are they
Japan?
still using
Whatever.
it?
And what it was, just so you know, it was an ad that said, are you still using Windows 7? end of life is dated to be October 1st. They're going to cancel it. Buy new Windows now, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So it was an ad for the new Windows, but it was highlighted Windows 7. And the people seeing the chat here didn't see
Yeah.
what it was. So it was another Microsoft ad, whatever. Well, they've announced the death of it or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, sidetrack.
But
Okay, this
people are still
is
using Windows XP, I've seen in some places.
XP.
Yeah. From 1999.
Does that still exist on machines? It's probably running the ambulance services or something, whatever. Or the nuclear reactor down the road is running on Windows XP. We don't talk. Let's not do it. Let's talk about where we are. What do we get here? Oh, Heritage Printmakers. Mr. Heritage
Oh,
Printmakers,
yes.
a message for you. Cameron and Dave, the prints are absolutely gorgeous.
All right.
Thank you.
But-
Well, we know they're good. Thank you for the bulletproof packaging. Yes, we wrapped
Yes.
it. I did it. I'm in Japan. I wrapped it, and I wrapped it some more, and I wrapped it some more, and I wrapped it some more.
Yep. How long did it take to get to the bottom of that?
But you only got it just now? It should have
No, I think
got...
he's had it for a while. He talked about it on Instagram.
Oh,
a while
okay,
ago.
okay.
Probably just
Okay.
hasn't been in the stream.
Okay. Anyway. Okay, Cameron, I have good news and bad news.
Okay.
You've been doing the accounting work for our subscription processing, right?
Yes.
You've been doing it pretty well, but our software is getting a bit old. The software that I wrote for this, I wrote it in 2004, and our subscription software is actually getting a bit old. I found a new way to handle how we handle the bookkeeping. It came from auctions last week. Are you with me on this?
All right. Who's
Are you
gonna
with me on
print
this?
them?
We are a woodblock printmaking workshop. So from now on, starting next week, you are going to do our bookkeeping
On woodblock prints?
pieces of paper that we have done on woodblock prints. Printed right here in the woodblock print workshop.
Sounds great. And,
You don't sound quite so enthusiastic about that.
yeah. As long as you don't mind if the printing is terrible.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is how it was done. Before Excel, before whatever,
Yeah.
before anything. There was lots, Japanese, there was accounting, there was bookkeeping. This particular piece of wood, let's see, it's not dated, but there are some more in the package that are dated. And there's some memos from the Taisho era. So this is not ancient Edo era, whatever. This is Taisho, which is about 100 years old. This is now 2019, so this could have been about 1919 or 1920, somewhere on there. And it's not a spreadsheet. What have we got here? This is for a page that would have gone into an accounting ledger. Can you back up a little bit? Give me the whole sheet, Cameron. Now there's a registration marks at the bottom here, and a sheet of paper would have gone in. And the way this is designed is there's narrow columns and fat columns and narrow columns, and the center here has a space for writing to go in. And what would happen is after this is printed, it would be folded back like this, printed many sheets, and then bound together at the spine with thread to make an actual book full of open spaces. Now, I've been saying accounting, but actually, when I did my exhibitions here in Japan, we had a guest book. And I had actually a guest book that was woodblock printed, and it was something like this. It was a space. You do your name and his name, and then it's your postal code number, the address, and the address. And this actually looks like that kind of thing. These look like the spaces for addresses and the space for name or whatever's going on. Person's name, company name, postal code, blah, blah. So I've been saying accounting. The particular sheet we're looking at is, I don't think, for numerical calculations and accounting. It's just some kind of, it's a database. It's not a spreadsheet. It's a database. Name, address, phone number, all that sort of stuff. And it is a juicy, heavy piece of cherry wood, and I am lusting after this wood. So that's a problem for me now. What is the antique value of this object weighed against the I want this wood to make brand new woodblock prints from? And this is the way it was done in the old days. Pieces of wood were carved for whatever, for accounting, for prints, for making utamaro, bijinga, whatever. Once the demand for the print was gone, if that piece of wood was thick enough and stable enough and strong enough, out comes the knives, plane it off, send it to the carver for a new job. it would have been reused back in the old days. But now I've got to balance these two things, because the older these things get, there is a legitimate antique value or research value or, funky old stuff we should keep and not destroy value. So I've got to balance these two things. So I'm not quite sure yet what I'll be doing with this one. It looks very well made, but my God, it's a beautiful heavy piece of wood. I am lusting after this piece of wood. And not only that, it is thick enough. If we took this to the bandsaw, we could get 1, 2, 3, at least maybe 4 out of this. So that's another option partway through. What we could do is knock the end pieces off, take it to the bandsaw, slice it into 4 pieces, keep the top one that has this stuff carved on it, bond it to a piece of plywood so it doesn't warp and die, put it in the storeroom for the antiques, and the other 3 pieces sliced off the back we will use to create brand new, interesting, wonderful woodblock. That's thick enough and dense enough and heavy enough to do that. The box we got, can I just pass this over to you? J-Pop, talk and live. Oh, this one's going to make a mess. This one's going to make a mess. Vermilion, yeah, this one was printed in vermilion. Now this is a mix of accounting stuff. And we have something here, interesting. We have the company name here. And there's all kinds of spaces. There's names for the date. It says Ikkagetsukane, 1 month's money. What else? I'm looking upside down. This is the main total of the money here. The company name is here. There's a name for numbering. Dai Ichigo, like number 1, number 2, number 3, number 545, whatever. This is an actual form with a very specific use. And I'm saying accounting in a general terminology, accounting, bookkeeping, office keeping, record keeping of some sorts. And it has the company name, and it is Nanyodo, we were looking at this yesterday?
Decided yesterday.
Yeah. Minami, south, yo, tayo no yo, the part of the character for the sun, and do as in company, organization, building, whatever. And Cameron Googled this yesterday, and he found a company in Jimbocho still using this name. Now, whether it's this company, it was a bookstore, What were they selling? You were selling books,
Old books.
not prints and stuff, But it's a kind of a generic thing that could have been a name in different eras, so I doubt very much that it's the same company. I think it's just a rehash of the name.
It's actually one in Sapporo too, a bookstore of the same name.
Really? Yeah, maybe we should print this up and send it over to them and see if they know anything about it. It's possible. When they had an office cleanup 70 years ago and cleaned up some junk and it's been a storehouse. And if it is the same company in existence, they might be kind of tickled to see this now. So what were you saying?
I see the vermilion on the outside, but what would have been
It's chipping off. So this is I'm guessing that they would have printed this originally with a black pigment, because we can see it's a dark blue or gray or something.
Yeah.
And then they used later on a vermilion pigment, and they didn't clean it very well. And there's vermilion. And this actually is going to be real vermilion, as in sulfuretted mercury, which now costs an absolute fortune. And you might laugh at me, but I think I'm going to get a piece of paper here, scrape this off.
I was going to say, can you read?
And I think, you're laughing, but I think we can use some of this pigment. We'll see. The other thing is, though, it's probably quite poisonous, this one. So I'm not going to be able to. But before we do test printing, I will clean all this stuff off. It's in here. It's all in the middle of all this. It's coming out everywhere. Yeah. So. And this block is nicely carved. These edges, I don't know how close you can get in here. There's a line around the edge here. And it is really super finely and densely carved. And these guys are not fooling around. This is very, very nice, delicate work. And to the right side of the thing, there's a thin line here. Once you get the crap out of the way. That is a beautiful, beautiful block. So it must have been used right up till the last, and they didn't even wash it. The last day the guy used it, they wouldn't even wash it, just wrapped it up and put it aside, and then bang.
Finally done making these accounting books.
Yeah, whatever. No date on this one either, so. That's a bit of a treasure for two reasons. For pigment analysis and for, so I will not be destroying this one, for sure.
The auction you got this on only showed one
Yeah,
or
he
two
showed
of the
two. He
last
showed two.
two.
He showed a small one and one other one. So I bid on it. I'm thinking I was just getting 2 pieces of wood, and it came out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So if it was worth the price for 2 pieces of wood, then it was a bargain for 5 pieces of wood.
So I was asking what about the flanges on the ends? They're trying to keep it stable. Can we zoom out a little bit? There's a couple of things involved here. Pieces of wood like this is not plywood. These are actual solid pieces of wood. And the problem with a solid piece of wood, no matter how well you cure it and dry it and take care of it, when you're printing, you're dumping water only on one face of it, not on the back side. So the block, any block, will tend to start arching. So hashibame is the Japanese name. Pieces of wood drilled or screwed. In the old days, the best work was it was tongue and groove. These strong boards were tongue and groove on the end of it, and we're trying to minimize warping of this block. Again, this is carved really, really nicely. This was not some junk job, you know. I cannot destroy this. These are just too beautiful. It's the same company name, Nanyodo. Nanyodo. And what would this have been for? Who knows? It's just straight columns. So it's the kind of stuff you would give to an author, and he would write his columns of manuscript. You know, this is a manuscript paper in the terms of writing Japanese text, top to bottom. And we want a magazine story from you for next month's magazine, and we need I don't know, 6 pages of you know, this paper, right? Or 2,400 characters or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And authors use the standard size paper to write their stuff in and submit their stories or whatever. And this is fresh. This hasn't been overly used. It's not worn out. Yeah, I don't know if it's picking up. It has a green fluorescent tinge to this one. I really don't know. And there's purple on the edge here. It's got a green fluorescent tinge, so I really don't know what pigment they've used on this. There's some red splash, there's blue splashes, there's purple splashes, and we see this green.
You used old highlight this.
I guess so. Just over the years it was used for different requirements. And this one's very nice too. I cannot spoil this one. But it's such nice wood. It's so dense and so hard. We couldn't use that part. That's the white and the white softwood. But we could use this. It's beautiful. Aoyama-san's going to see this today when he comes in. He's going to say, I want that right now, upstairs. I paid 8,000 yen for the stack, so I think a bargain. Oh, yeah. My car loan, 2.5% per annum. Choiku loan, 2% per annum. Free loan, do whatever you want with it, 4% to 10% per annum. Someone's making some money there.
Still lower than US money rate.
It works both ways, we don't get interest either, so. And the last one, same company, I guess, because we've got on the back one here, we have better. Taisho Bonen, 5th month of Taisho, Haru, spring in the 5th year of Taisho, sorry. And it's the same name, it's Nan Yo. Is it Yo? Same Yo? Oh yeah, it's the same, Nan Yodo. And the address is here. It's Ikegawa Machi, Takenoya, Takenotani? How would it have been pronounced? I can't remember, I'm not sure. Anyway, on a the bamboo valley in the
Pond River Town.
Pond River Town, whatever. And there's somebody's name here who I cannot read. So.
I think that's Shinsei, newly made, the bottom two.
Where are we at here?
I think this year will be Shinsei.
Why would they write that on the back of an accounting? I was thinking it was somebody's name.
Maybe it was recarved this year or something.
Okay.
But I don't know
Yep.
The Ichi
Why this? I
and
don't even understand how that fits in there. Ichi and Shima.
Kochi.
Kochishi.
And then this is the town.
Okay, I got you.
So
I
it's
got you. I got you. I got you. You're right. You're right.
Kochi.
You are right. It's in Shikoku.
It is.
It's Kochi. It's
Okay.
still Kochi. So, car.
So Shikoku.
There you are. Education. Education.
Kochishi.
Again, we have that green fluorescent kind of tone. No idea. Some kind of pigment that's oxidized into something else. No idea.
Yeah, it looks really bizarre on the camera. On there it looks better, but it looks more.
We have Kento again. We have the guide for the paper at the bottom here. There's no Kento in a corner, just a larger sheet would have flipped into the bottom. So the hashibame, which are stabilizing this, are also cut to give a guide for the paper. But it's not Kento in the sense that we have in woodblock printing to guide the corner. Sorry. So it's just a baseline to put the paper into. And they've extended it for some reason. I think, well, why would they need that? They've got here and here. Why would they have needed to extend it out there?
Maybe they just added one more stabilizer. It was starting to bend, and so they still had to cut it. The paper was wide. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it is tightly arched. It is possible. But that's pretty soft wood. Okay, anyway, yeah.
Are these? No, that's not part of the same.
No, it's the hashibame. It's the stabilizers. So and they've turned the stabilizers into the registration mark. So. No, I don't. People might ask, are you going to print these and show us and print these and show us? At the moment, I'm not going to do that because part of the research value in these things is the pigments, and that one with the brilliant pigment, which are left on it. So I'm going to clean off and preserve the pigments that were on that one. So I don't think we're going to print these. We can see what they are. There's no specific research knowledge to be gained from taking impressions of these and splashing modern pigment on them. So we're not going to do that. And I think for the most part we'll leave them alone with the proviso that that first one we looked at, I think we're going to split that. So I really want some of that wood, and we can preserve the top level. So we will not be planing these off for destruction. They're just too nicely made. Sometimes we see these accounting papers and they are just so worn and frazzled. They've been used a bajillion times. They're split, they're cracked. There's just no value at any level, either for research or whatever. And I would plane one of those. But the ones we have today, they are too nicely made. I mean, I'm a carver. I can't,
Can't throw away nice carpet.
No, I can't throw away nice carver. So we will not be destroying these. And again, we see this. This is the key thing. This one fell folded in half for binding up the ends. So very nice font. I spent 8,000 yen on it plus tax and postage, so whatever, $70, $80, something like that.
Yeah.
But I'm very happy to get it, if nothing else, just to see this beautiful wood and see this beautiful carving. And they'll go into the collection, the different exhibitions we'll be able to show over the years. They're really going to be fun.
Thank you, man. So it makes sense that this is Kochi.
So, God, look at this. It's Sherlock Holmes at work. Look at
I read
this.
hiragana.
Sherlock Holmes. He's keyed the newspaper, the local newspaper here. Yeah, you're right. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, Sherlock, hey. Keep this up and you'll be asking for another bonus.
All right.
My God. Wonderful.
What else can
So
I
it's
read? Show
nothing
off
to do with that fellow,
the one in
the one in
Tokyo.
Jimbocho with the same name.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know where to look.
Okay. Thank you for your help, sir.
And was there one more, or is
There was
that-
one little tiny one which is beaten up beyond belief. This was also in the package,
Oh yeah.
and it doesn't even look usable. What it is, well, can you zoom in a
Out
bit?
of the way and then
This is totally unusable. It's a frame which is carved, ready to be printed, and inside it have been set up some different pieces of carved wood. If I flip it over from there, you can see the different pieces. These have been put together and pinned into a frame, and they've been knocked together with wooden dowels. But they're not all at the same height. I mean, these characters here are well below the frame. If I put ink on this and tried to print it, I could print the frame, but I couldn't print these characters. So I'm not really quite sure why this is done. And this is about as worn as you get. There's characters here. Where
There's
my
characters
fingers-
in there?
There's characters. Let me put the light. Let me put the side light up.
Oh yeah. Okay. Now you can see it.
There's characters there, and this is as worn as Warren gets. I mean, this is archaeological excavation level of being worn. And that's more typical of how these things will be. And it's the same address. Look, Ikigawa Machi. It's the same thing, Cameron. Look, it's the same thing.
Same guy.
Ikigawa.
Same company.
Oh, yeah. We get different now. Look at this. This is Nan-yo-do, but there's
Right.
2 more characters. I'm upside down here. Umi ki neska. No, chigao. Yes. It's
Ume?
ume and wood. The show.
Yeah. So
The
they.
ume tree. Would this have been earlier
So were
name
they
to the company or
orchard
something?
or,
Here's Dono. So this after this was printed, the person's name would have been written in here, Nani Dono, and here's the address: Ikigawa Machi Take no Tani. Something year, something month, something day. The printed year, month, day. You would write in
The
the
date
year,
of-
month, the date of what you're doing.
Certain seed.
And I can't read this backwards, and it's totally too worn. Give me a break. And something numbered here, Dai Nango, Dai 21st one or 22nd one or whatever you write it in. But the confusing thing is these are pinned in a way that it's not printable.
Huh.
So I have no idea. No idea. This is of no use to us as objects for use in our printmaking. This has nothing but interest in antique value. So again, this just goes in the collection as something to show at some point in time just how much wear these things did get. And how much, cut and paste and cut and paste. You guys with Photoshop, you don't know how easy you've got, cut and paste. The original cut and paste used to be pieces of wood and blocked together and shaved and pasted together.
And would they do it this way just so they would be using smaller pieces of cherry to save cherry for something else instead of getting one this size?
I don't think so. I think this is evolution.
blocks?
If there had been a requirement for a specific sheet, they would have carved that sheet and printed and printed and printed. It's just too much trouble fooling around. Then something changes.
Yeah.
The requirements go. We change our subscription series to something else.
Yeah.
We don't need it. So cut that piece of wood off, put a new piece in.
The company name.
We've
It's like
got.
something was cleared away there.
Yep, exactly. So it's evolution. There's no way you would take this much time and trouble. But once you've got a thing you're using,
Yeah.
if you need a variation of it, and that's no use anymore, you keep the part that you can use again.
Got it.
We hear about this in the old sumo when they were making portraits of sumo characters,
Yeah.
right? They've got blocks left over, and the head's been chopped out and a new head plugged in. It's the same body.
Huh.
To save carving the whole thing all over again. It's just a piece of wood. Copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. So this one is antique value, no value for us whatsoever. Well, you Googled the company name and nothing came up except that one in Kano,
Right.
Sapporo, nothing down in Shikoku.
Yeah.
Let's
But
Google it.
if I add
Let's
the
Google
city
it.
name
Yeah,
down-
maybe we can find it. And if they're still in existence, that would be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. Maybe they'd be interested in this, I don't know. Who knows?
You said no half-hour of show and tell, but I think it ended.
Oh my God, it's half an hour
hour.
past. Okay, I do have to go because today, do you have seen the print party schedule? Oh my God. The group at 10 o'clock is a group of 6 Australian ladies who do printmaking in Australia. And they wanted to do a carving and printing thing. And I just laughed at them. Maybe we can do this. And I think they're going over to Asuka Sensei's place sometime later to look at carving.
So they can carve there. Yeah.
So they're coming. So they're going to be busy and noisy, and they're going to 6 of them. They're going to take like 2 hours for this. And then 1 o'clock party, 4 people. 2:30 party, 4 people. 4 o'clock party, 5 people. It is going to be a day. I have got to get out of here. I've got to get out of here. Wow. What are we doing here? Let me pull this up, pull this down. Okay, here we are. You're off camera, but whatever. Okay, we've got to get out of here. It's Friday now, so there won't be another stream until Monday morning. And actually, I'm still poking around with the idea that we're going to do this 3 times a week, but we should maybe shift to 3 days. Because there's still people asking, we got to do the weekend outside thing. So if we shifted Friday, for example, to Saturday, that might be something cool to think about. So maybe we'll talk about that next week. While I'm doing Mondays and Wednesdays stream, we might say Friday will shift to Saturday or something. I'm just putting the idea on the table. So if you're a once a week person looking today at Friday, it's possible, one idea, that next Friday stream won't be Friday, but it'll be moved to Saturday instead. Let's just put this into the mix and keep the idea on the table. Okay, Karen, I got to get to work. I'm the one. Computer. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay, guys, thanks very much. See you on Monday morning. What will I be doing? It's too far in the future to tell. See you then. Thanks very much. Bye-bye. That's Teiko-san just coming in.